Hello, welcome to this video. Today we're going behind the song of my new song, Daydream. So first thing to get into are my inspirations for this song. So I've got quite a few inspirations for this song, or like little Easter eggs that, call out to other songs. But my main two were Wild Ones by... who the heck is that by? Flow Rider, featuring Sia. And another one of my top inspirations of this song was Korea by Lil Dicky. That song is one of my favourite Lil Dicky songs. Just the first 30 seconds is such a satisfying rap to me, and it's such a feel good time. I actually really struggled when writing my song to steer away from that exact rhythm. I just love that song, Korea by Lil Dicky. Then also the first line in the whole song and in the chorus is "Tell me am I going crazy?" There's another song with that exact first line. And that is, of course, Can't Sleep Love by Pentatonics. And then another song I kind of stole from was Can't Hold Us. I stole the "Trust Me" on my N-D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-D, cause up. No, just the "Trust Me" I stole. Trust me when I say they say I'm reckless. It's not a big deal, man. I just made. Still going into the second verse with "Trust Me." Now, the lyrics and the meaning of this song is not that deep, which is the whole point of the song. It's a fun, light, party song where you just feel good. It's a feel-good song. The lyrics for this song are kind of surface level and kind of random, and I really love that. I'm talking about calamari, I'm talking about the weather being good, and the second verse, for example, highlight Bob Marley. Oh yeah, I love that I managed to reference Bob Marley in that as well, in the song, because I'm a fan. Bottle of Bacardi, that's another little reference to Stormzy. Yeah, Big for Your Boots. Bottle of Bacardi, I don't like. Hit him with a crowbar, I don't scrap. Even when I'm sober, I'm so gassy, right? So yeah, that's another little reference. Big for Your Boots by Stormzy, which is one of my favourite rap songs. When I was like 13, 14 kind of age, I was like a big fan of that song. And I still am a big fan of that song. How I see this song is that it's like Wild Ones brought to like 2025. The main thing that brings it to 2025 is just the release date, and I mentioned a two-man step, which is kind of a modern term. Right now, as I'm recording, I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago when I first started it. And yeah, it was very on and off for a while. I would just pick it up whenever I kind of felt like it. But it was a daunting task to like pick up because I didn't know how to make it good. It came out like amazing. I'm really happy with how it came out. But there are many times in the last 4 years about this song I've just been like, I have no idea how to get what I want. We are also going to listen to the first demo of it right now. So this was an early, the piano thing was a very early thing. That was like a sample I reversed, or maybe it was naturally just like that anyway.
Tell me, am I going crazy? Chasing all the clear blue skies, getting drunk and acting lazy before we all begin our lives. ASMR, love a calamari, seems right there, might get some fresh. I'm like a sailor, Dave, but I quit Dave. Look at his face, man, he's kinda impressed. And we don't care about who you are or where you came from. If you're jumping up and down, your children need to say so. More the better, just met her, I let her come down on my level. Tell me, am I going crazy? Chasing all the clear blue skies, getting drunk and acting lazy before we all begin our lives.
They sing I'm reckless, it's not a big deal, man, I just missed breakfast. Yeah, maybe for the 8th date in a rubber when a night's like that. How can I go home? Let's drink, done, party people. She was so bad, thinking she was evil. Walking over to her, yeah, getting involved. You know how the story goes. Highlight the Marley, bottle of Bacardi. Yeah, so you can see the lyrics changed. The getting drunk and acting lazy, that changed to living like I'm in a daydream. Because yeah, getting drunk and acting lazy, that just sounds like you're a bum. That just sounds like you're like a nuisance to the world. When it's not that. You're a proactive young person spreading love into the world, and you're doing that by getting drunk and going clubbing. The lyrics on the first verse as well changed since this first demo. This first demo's lyrics are ASMR, love a calamari, sees right there, might get some fresh. I'm like a sailor, Dave Bird, I quit Dave, heard the look on his face, man, he's kind of impressed. And we don't care about who you are or where you came from. We're jumping up and down, you called it and you say so. The more the better, just met her, I let her come down on my level. ASMR, love a calamari. After a night out once, my friends came round to the stew. this stew right here. And we had a little stew session, and we were all kind of drunk, and a friend of mine was on the mic, and she said, ASMR, I would love a calamari. And then soon after I started making this song, when I was freestyling into the mic, that just came out, and then I just thought it'd be cool to put that in the song, but then I changed my mind in the end, because it was like, well, what the fuck does that mean? Everyone's going to be like, what the hell is ASMR? Because I have no idea. So yeah, I changed it to A Let's Go Party, because what the heck is ASMR? But yeah, initially it was ASMR, love a calamari, as a reference to the stew session we had. Then we got I'm Like a Sailor, Dave Bird, I Quit, Dave Heard, Look on His Face. Man, he's kind of impressed. Dave used to be my old manager, my part-time job. Great guy. But I just thought it'd be a lot of fun to mention him in the song. But then I changed that and I didn't stick with that. But in the demo, and for a while, he was in this song. Then we have the lines at the end where it's just met her, I let her come down on my level. Now that was just a bit too, because in popular rap music, I don't know if you guys know, by males, there's a lot of talk about how successful they are in attracting females. And I did want to kind of lean into that with this song, but not in a disrespectful way. And like the lyric is actually fine, because you say, just met her, I let her come down on my level, and like you're both on the same wavelength and all this, but that pause between level was intentional. It was kind of a funny thing, but I can totally see how that can
initially come across as crude
before the level bit, and I don't know, it just felt a bit like lame. But that line, I don't think that's like a strong line or anything like that. I think it's just slightly too rubbish, you know. So I got rid of that. It's not like a really awful, disrespectful line or anything. It just missed the mark I was trying to hit, and that I did hit in the second verse. Woo! So let's get into that now. Most days I go to sleep quite late, and I don't really have breakfast most days as well, and I get called reckless basically a lot of the time when people hear about my sleep schedule and my eating and stuff. So it's cool that the first two lines mention that. Another lyric I want to talk about is walking over to her yet and getting involved. You know how the story goes. That's a really funny lyric to me, because it kind of implies that I'm like really cool and I walk over to a female and we get on really well, if you know what I mean. But that is not what I say at all. That's just implied. So how do you know it's not me going up to someone and then just like not saying anything and just standing really awkwardly, which is way more likely to be the case. The lines are still true. Walking over to you, I'm getting involved. You know how the story goes, like, you just never say anything to them. You know, that's quite funny. But again, when you listen to the song, it's like, hopefully the listeners take it a different way. And I did touch on this in the music video as well. There's the whole Snapchat thing, just like not being added back. And then, yeah, I like the lyric, I make my own rules up. She's like, is that even allowed? Because I feel like that's quite a nice trait to have. I like it when people are like confident and they're just like, oh yeah, just do this. I'm not like that 100% of the time at all, but I love it when I am, or when other people are as well, when, you know, someone's just really confident. And, you know, like even a friend, if they're just like, oh, let's just do this, and I'm like, what can we? And they're like, well, yeah, just do it. And it's like, okay, cool. I love seeing people being confident, or when I'm confident. Sometimes the default for me is to like look for reasons to not do something and then latch onto them. And this is like a different mindset where it's like, you just don't do that, you just do it, you know. I don't even mean doing anything crazy, I just mean like just being confident in small ways, you know. I love it when I'm like that, and I like it when other people are like that, basically. And so I like that those lines are there, because that's a real like powerful, attractive trait. There's a lot of times where someone makes their own rules up, and I'm like the impressed one, you know. Before We All Begin Our Lives, by the way, that was the original name of the song, like in the demos and stuff, and what I call the file. But Before We All Begin Our Lives was like before we all, you know, have too much responsibility where we can't go on a crazy holiday and get drunk 24/7 and like all of this. A lot of this song was made here. Most of it was made here. Some of it was made in Spain, as you saw in my vlogs. If you don't know, I've got a second channel where I vlog, and earlier this year in April, me and two friends of mine, Max and Tommy, we went to Spain, and I was working on this song there, basically, and I also filmed the video on that trip. We were there for 4 days. Looking back, it was really cool that I managed to work on the song, film a vlog, film a music video, and have a good party and holiday as well in 4 days. A lot of this song was also made in Norway in August, about a month ago. I went to Norway for 1 week or like 6 days, and a friend of mine invited me out there. He's building a studio actually, and I got to see that whole thing being built and stuff, and that was really cool. But in my free time there, I worked on this song and worked a lot on the production, especially for the ending and stuff. So a lot of the vocals actually, especially in the last like 2 minutes of the song, were recorded in Norway. So that's pretty cool. One of my favourite things that I feel sometimes when I'm writing songs is when you make something up that kind of breaks the rules or like surprises you as a listener, and that's like really fun. Most of the time it can be like a switch up of like the beat, or just like the harmony goes somewhere you don't expect it. Just something that like you don't expect. When you write something that you don't expect to hear, that is like the coolest thing a lot of the time. And my second verse has that, and that's the whole bit with the switch up with the highlight Bob Marley, bottle of Bacardi, getting it down like I forgot what hanging is. That halfway kind of switch up, when I wrote that, it felt like I wasn't allowed to do that. Like I should carry on with the flow of the original thing. But then I was just like, fuck it, like that feels so good, and it's like it keeps it fresh. Sometimes they can feel kind of illegal to do, or like it's kind of like wrong, like you're breaking rules, like I said. But I think that's when you know it's a really good switch up, when you're feeling like super excited about it, but it feels like you shouldn't do it. It's literally like a guilty pleasure. Like you shouldn't really switch up the beat here, and like you should, you know, real rappers carry on with the same flow and like don't need a fresh new flow every 2 bars. But fuck it, it's too good. It's too good to pass up on, you know. Now this song has a music video and it's really friggin' good, so go watch that. But my plan in my head for the music video was like high production, flashy, all to be filmed in Spain on that trip, and I just wanted it to look really like professional, and like basically just like that I'm like rich in a sunny place with like loads of time, loads of money, loads of drinks, loads of all that flashy stuff, right? That's the vibe I wanted. I can't fully remember how it came about, but my friend Max actually came around and helped me edit the video. It surprised me how much it helped, because he would mention things that I wouldn't even consider myself, right? And it turned the video from this fake flashy performance thing, you know, to something real. And I think that really helped it, because he would say to use videos of like me, Tommy and Max fooling around and just like having a laugh, you know. And in my head I was never going to use any of them because it was like filmed really shittly and like all this. But with this song, it's such a flashy surface level song. Having a music video where there were real moments, I think makes up for that quite a lot, and it comes together really nice. It makes the song feel way more grounded and real, whereas if it was a flashy video and then along the side with the song, which is a flashy song, it can just feel like I'm trying to be someone I'm not and all this. So yeah, having the real friendship moments and like the laughs, even though it's filmed badly, even though there's like shaky cameras and like all this, really helped ground it and make it real, I think. So I really love the music video. I think it's my favourite music video I have out currently. So thank you, Max. That was really good. I'll give you a fruit pastel. One last thing I want to go through is just the beat of the song. I friggin' love it, dude. I just love it so much. Oh, those triplets right there. Listen to that. I love that. Producing this was hard because I wanted that balance of loads of space and silence, right? That like Korea by Lil Dicky has, for example, but it still had to be interesting and like ear tickling enough and bold enough. It can't just be like reverbed out background bits and stuff. Everything had to be quite present and clean, very clean. Feels simple, but sounds interesting the whole time. And so like stuff like this. Running the line of too much melody and production in the background versus too little was challenging, I will say, at points. But I think I nailed it, basically. So that's good. Here's another cool thing as well. This bit right here. Like those 8 bars reminds me of this technique that pentatonics commonly use. I'll show an example of it right now. Where kind of the bass gets lifted and the melodies are shining. So yeah, that's what this bit reminded me of, and I thought of that when I was producing it. ending chorus production is perfect. Again, riding the balance of too much melody and too much going on versus too little was extremely hard for that last chorus, and I think I nailed it. I especially love just this melody. And then the way halfway through, it does the high stuff like this, and then it comes in with the main. I was worried when I produced that like it would sound too gamey and too kind of kiddie, but it worked perfectly. I think I love it. I think it works really well. All right, cool. So that is behind the song for my song Daydream. Hope you guys enjoyed learning more about what I think about it and how I came to make it. Thank you very much for watching. Also, look at the studio. Look at these lights.
Snazzy, huh?
I've got new lights in the studio and they can do really cool things. Like, hang on, let me just select all of them.
Look at this. Look at that, and you can like program them to do like other really cool things.
So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. The lights are really cool and updated here in the stu. Thank you to my brother for installing them. And one last thing, just to remind you that I have a second channel. Please watch every video here every single day because they are like the best videos on the internet. And my second channel has the second best videos on the internet. So go watch them. Today I chose cards that match what I'm wearing. Right, it's Saturday night. I'm gonna go actually to the pub with Max and Tommy right now. They're already there. They're waiting on me. I'll see you guys later. Stream the song. Goodbye.